Honorable Men Discord, there's a massive storm due to hit parts of the United States. Let's talk about it.
How you see yourself is how you perceived. I see a man strong, gifted, head strapping, never down on his knees, begging. Gotta make a way, even in my darkest hour. Say the odds against me was new. I would never cower.
As always, welcome back to another episode. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and by all means, I'll see you in the comment section. So let's get straight to it. I have ABC News. This is a report that I found, and I'd like to play it regarding the storm. Now, this episode was pre-recorded, so at the time that you're watching this, it's Saturday, and where you reside may be currently going through the storm. And all I can say is I hope everyone is safe, everybody's indoors, windows are secured. If your windows needed to be boarded up, I hope you did so in advance. I hope you have flashlights with batteries and more than enough water, bottled water, and perishables to eat. But with that being said, let's get into the news report for those of you that have not received snow as of yet, but it's on its way.
Great to have you with us here on a Wednesday night. We do begin tonight with what forecasters are now warning will be a potentially catastrophic, crippling winter storm about to hit multiple states across the south, the east, and right up into the northeast. The massive system expected to stretch 2,000 miles, tens of millions of Americans already under alert for heavy snow, ice, freezing rain, and brutal cold. This will move through Oklahoma, Texas, across the south, right into the Carolinas before reaching right up into the northeast. There are watches already up tonight. They are talking of more than a foot of snow and ice in some places that rarely see this. It comes amid heavy snow already. Drivers near Buffalo, New York, wind chills in the teens and 20s from Minneapolis to New York to Maine. And tonight, with this new and massive storm set to hit, major airlines already, including Delta and United, issuing travel waivers for passengers ahead of the storm. There's real concern that with this ice, there could be significant power outages with these brutal temperatures moving in. Lee Goldberg has the forecast. He'll take us through this day by day, and ABC's Stephanie Ramos leading us off with the warnings from authorities already tonight.
Tonight, the National Weather Service warning millions to prepare for what could be the most crippling storm in years. The system, fueled by Gulf moisture from the south and supercharged by some of the coldest air of the season, will stretch some 2,000 miles. It will bring feet of snow and ice to millions. Airlines already waiving rebooking fees, anticipating chaos at the airports. Dallas bracing for days of bitter cold.
We're talking freezing temperatures for at least 60 to 65 hours consecutively. That means the weekend will be freezing.
This massive system coming on the heels of a fast-moving clipper that brought snow squalls to western Pennsylvania. Travel treacherous, vehicles flipping on their sides. West of Boston, a 4-alarm house fire in Oakham claiming one man's life. Firefighters battling single-digit temperatures, freezing hoses, and icy conditions. Overnight, major lake-effect snow south of Buffalo. Some 60 vehicles involved in a series of crashes on Interstate 90, the scene stretching 6 miles. And new dash camera video from that 100-plus vehicle pileup in Zeeland, Michigan, showing there was no escape. The driver moving toward the median, trying to get out of the way. But the chain reaction crashes were all around him. David, the storm is headed all the way here to the northeast. And tonight, the National Weather Service is warning everyone, especially all across the south, to prepare for power outages and to take this very seriously. David.
Yeah, they're about to see conditions they are not used to. Stephanie Ramos leading us off.
Yeah, take these things very serious. Look after the elders, your grandparents, your parents, your uncles, your aunts, and so on and so forth. Obviously, look after your siblings, your children, but take this thing very serious. Don't think that this is going to be a time to go outside, tubing and things like that. Take it serious. You know, if you want to do stuff like that, wait until the actual storm has passed completely. Do not go out there while it's ongoing.
I've been waiting to talk about the storm that's coming this weekend because I didn't want to freak people out. And a lot of these forecasts never pan out, but this one is panning out, it looks like. Yeah, everyone's in agreement now that the crazy forecast is actually happening. This is going to be one of those storms you probably remember for much of your life. Basically, more than the eastern half of the United States is going to be below freezing. Most of that below zero. They're calling for, foot 1.5 feet of snow all through here, all the way to the mid-Atlantic, and 3 inches of ice in this pink band right here. 3 inches of ice is unbelievably catastrophic. That is worse than what Texas experienced in 2021. There's going to be loss of life. Anywhere there's 3 inches of ice, there's no power. There's not going to be a power line that's not on the ground when there's 3 inches of ice. And emergency services aren't going to be able to reach you because there's 3 inches of ice on the road. That's what's going to happen if this forecast is correct. The grid's going to fail. Refineries are going to shut down. Water systems are going to shut down. Could knock out a couple of LNG terminals if it goes far enough south on the Gulf Coast. This is going to be a disaster if this forecast is even close to accurate. I mean, a major disaster. Huge natural disaster across pretty much all the southern states. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if you live in the pink area, you should plan to be without power for at least a week, maybe a month. That doesn't mean it's going to happen, but you need to prepare for it because it wouldn't be the first time it happened, okay? This is that. People went without power for a month in Texas in 2021. This is a repeat of that. For you folks in the upper Midwest, where it's going to be like 30 below, take the largest electric bill you've ever had in your life and add, 25% to that or more. Yeah. But more important.
Listen, take this serious. Take it serious. I'm taking it serious because if you remember back in October, what happened in Jamaica. Now, at the time when the storm hit Jamaica, and I know it's a different type of storm, but when that storm hit Jamaica, there was a lot of natives that thought that it may not happen. So they underestimated the probability of that storm actually hitting. And at the time of that particular storm, I was in Trinidad, and Jamaica got hit very, very bad. And that was forecasted by the news. You know, matter of fact, I remember from Trinidad, I was watching the news reports from what was going on in Jamaica, and there was some locals who were just like, there's been talks of storms before. They weren't worried about it. And when it hit, it made a lot of damage. It damaged some of the airports. If you remember, this was back in October. So I don't take any of these things lightly. It's better to be prepared than to underestimate it, and then it comes down hard, and then you don't have the proper resources and things to prepare yourself for something like this. In the event of, like he's mentioning, if you're in the areas that's going to get hit with the ice, you have to be prepared for possible blackouts, which is why flashlights are essential. Plenty of batteries for those flashlights are essential. Blankets, and so on and so forth. I can't think of things off the top of my mind that you would need, but I would think a lot of flashlights, especially for a blackout. Canned goods.
Just a reminder ahead of this nasty snowstorm, do not risk your life trying to get to your job when your job will replace you in any second. You can get another job, but you can't get another life. You guys better be safe out here.
And I figured I would end with that because I know there's some people that, you want to keep a flawless record at work, and you're going to fight through the storm to get to work to show that you're dedicated and you're reliable. But no, don't risk it. Live to see another day. But listen, that's all I have on this. Again, I hope everyone who's seeing this at the time, this was pre-recorded, but I'm hoping that those of you that are actually experiencing the snowstorm right now, I hope that you're safe and you're going to stay in and stay out of the way of the storm. Don't make any decisions to go outside for a quick drive to the, last minute drive to the local gas station to pick up. No, the time is not now if you're actually experiencing a snowstorm as we speak. But those of you that are soon to experience a snowstorm, yes, make that last run to get as much water as possible, and again, flashlights and batteries, among other things that I can't think of at this moment. But everyone stay safe, and I'll see you on the next episode. Stay honorable.